time to watch Fox and Friends, First Edition.
You know what time it is.
Yeah. It's 6 o'clock in the east. It's 3 o'clock out in Los Angeles, California. Good morning, folks, and welcome aboard. And Kieran, welcome back from your vacation.
Thank you. Had a great time.
You sound a little.
You didn't know I was gone.
You know, I did know because you're not blonde.
Thank you.
There you go.
This week.
Hey, do you have?
I got a little cold.
congested?
That's right. It's hard to go from 80 degrees in the Dominican Republic to 10 degrees when we landed on Friday. So yeah, I'm a little stuffy.
Maybe we should get a bureau there, and you could have broadcast from there and make gradually, like the astronauts, where they went to the moon. They never went right out to the real world.
Right.
They went to a biosphere-type lab, and then gradually worked your way back.
They lived in a camper.
Oh,
First they were in the camper, and then they were quarantined.
Is that true?
Yeah. Remember that Airstream? They drove out there and hauled them up.
So
Plus, it never happened.
Get colds. That's the only reason why.
There you go. Anyway, we got a busy morning. We're delighted you would join us 90 seconds after the top of the hour. She's back from headlines. She's got a little bit of a cold, but she still has the headlines.
That's right. And we start off in Israel. A bomber blows himself up on an Israeli resort town, killing 3 other people. It's the first such attack in Israel in 9 months. 2 militant Palestinian groups are now claiming responsibility for that bombing. Iran announces a plan to greatly expand economic and military ties with Iraq. The Iranian ambassador to Baghdad is telling the New York Times that his country is willing to offer Iraq some training and equipment, and that country, Iran, wants to take over Iraq's reconstruction. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee files papers to form his 2008 Presidential Exploratory Committee today. The Republican says America needs a leader who started from the bottom and worked his way to the top. The Coast Guard fears 4 Massachusetts fishermen missing since Friday will not be found alive. Their 75-foot vessel was found submerged in Nantucket Sound yesterday. There was no trace of the men, and the vessel's only life raft was still attached to the boat. And those are your headlines this morning.
Remember back in November, we told you about those imams that were taken off the plane in Minneapolis and not allowed to fly on to Phoenix. Well, there was a brouhaha. They had a bunch of press availabilities and press conferences and whatnot. And now John Conyers, the Democrat from the great state of Michigan, who now heads up the Judiciary Committee, he and Russ Feingold are promising that they are going to look at and perhaps change the law regarding racial profiling. They don't ever want it to happen in the United States again.
Yeah, let's give the 80-year-old grandmother the same attention you would a imam who keeps spouting out Osama bin Laden, cool guy, in whatever language
I need a seatbelt extender.
If you want to drop any type of progress you made as a party, as the Democrats, you show yourself to be weak on terror. I think 9.8% of the people I talk to who happen to get on planes, which is the best way to fly according to my personal study, they are upset and concerned about the person sitting to the right and left of them. They are told to be aware and be anxious in certain respects about that. And if you talk to anyone of Arabic descent or of Arab descent who don't have insidious intentions, they want to make sure the people next to them don't have evil intentions, and they get home alive.
It's just for practical reasons as well. I mean, you can't keep the airlines running as a business and airports running as a normal way for people to be able to go about their business.
You'll never get through.
Stop every single person, and if you don't look for suspicious signs, and they're not necessarily race, they're not necessarily religion, of course, but you have to look for people that look suspicious. And if you're going to make the authorities feel that they're in fear of being in trouble every time they do that, I think that you really do risk putting all of our security on the line.
Here's the quote. Senator Feingold says it's a priority. Says